Come now, I have something to tell you.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm already on my way.
I call you earlier on as well.
I know. I was very busy with work. I know.
Come and see what I'm doing.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this week, Mariam has showed up in the Real Housewives of Lagos. We already have the 4th episode out, and of course, I'm here to run you down everything that happened. So how did this week start? We saw Laura apologizing to Caroline. Remember the last week, Caroline and Laura had a face-off because of the fact that, Caroline isn't happy about the fact that Laura is supporting her sister, Linda Ikeji, who's a blogger. And Caroline is claiming that, Linda actually dissolved her marriage with the news that she put out there about her marriage. So this time around, we see Laura trying to apologize to Caroline and say, you know what? I understand where you're coming from. I'm also a mom. If I had a child who had an issue and all of that, I know how I would feel. And I understand how you feel and all of that. And she apologized to Caroline, right? And right then that she was apologizing. I think there's another issue, low-key, there's another beef, right? About Chioma's friend. So there's a friend of Chioma called Kika. Now Kika, who's Chioma's friend, has already had a news on Linda Ikeji's blog. So Linda Ikeji, who's Laura's sister, who's a blogger, has put out some news about Kika. Also, probably fake news according to Chioma. And Chioma is like, you know what? Looking at the fact that, you have apologized to Caroline. Caroline has, she has shown you craze and she has showed you pepper, and you're already apologizing on behalf of your sister, or you're apologizing on behalf of yourself. And maybe, you guys are just going to rephrase the story and all of that. So Chioma is like, you know what, let me also use this opportunity to, clear Laura and tell Laura to tell her sister Linda Ikeji about what she wrote about her own friend, who's Kika. And right then, as she's trying to tell Laura, and Laura isn't having it at all. Laura just changes it for all of them. She changes it for Chioma. And there's a face of a heated argument.
All I said was, if you're trying to pull down Caroline's stories that were lies, pull down Kika's stories that were lies.
Laura just uses some crazy words on Chioma, and of course, the whole argument gets heated. You know what I think about this reality show? I think that the producers, everybody who came on the show, everybody who produced the show, they knew what they were looking for. They got the cast right. Because I think that in real life, real time, right? It's called a reality show. They have each other's secrets here or there. I think that, this person knows this person. They are hiding things that we don't know about this person. But most of these people, they know what they do. Imagine. Laura said that, Chioma cannot even stand her, even if one of her hands were tied behind her back. Laura talked about the fact that Chioma fights at the clubs. And just to ease off the tension, we see Iyabo and, Tiannah, trying to perform some little crazy here and there, and of course they were trying to ease off the tension that was happening right there at that dinner. So after all of this, we now see Caroline talk about the fact that, we're going to have some meditation. Then they call a lady, to come take them on meditation. But of course, while she was talking about it, she also mentioned the fact that she is 45 years old. Caroline is 45 years old. Even Iyabo was shocked.
By the way, I'm 45 years old. I'm older than you. Yeah.
So the lady's going to take them on the whole meditation thing. It comes around, and of course, they have some few things to do about meditation and all of that. And then they all smile, and they decide to get on with the food. And while they're at that, they decide to play a game, a truth, lie, whatever. And in the long run, the game got to Laura. And Laura, eventually said that, what? And part of what she said she's cool with Chioma. And, they all said, okay, if you're cool with yourselves, if you're cool with Chioma, you guys should hug. And then we see Laura and Chioma hug, and of course, they buried hatchet. But I'm hoping that, this fight that it just ended is for real, because these two people are crazy. They can pull up anything at any time. So if you remember vividly, last week we understood the fact that Chioma was trying to plan a trip or an outing for the ladies, right? And then of course this week we see the continuation of that. So she's planned that she's going to send out invites to the ladies in form of boxes that already have gifts and all of that. And of course the guy who brings the boxes brings it to her office, and then she goes through it, she picks the box, she loves what she's seeing in the box, and of course she decides to send a handwritten message to the ladies inside the box and send it to each of the ladies. And of course, while at that also, there was one of her staffs who used to work with her at Brass & Cooper. I think the guy had an accident at some point, right? The boss hit him, and of course he lost one of his hands. So this time around, she decided to, make a prosthetic hand. I think I got the word right, prosthetic, right? Something that looks like a real hand, because they literally had to amputate the guy's hand. So she got something for that staff of hers, and of course I think that the guy was happy. From what I saw, I think he was happy, because that's a fine guy without one of his hands. And of course, looking at what they brought in, it looks like a real hand. And that was one of the things she was trying to do, to give that guy something of hope, a new life in itself. And then we also see Laura, who calls her friend to the house, two of her friends, Celine and one other person, Aisha. She's trying to tell them about something she's trying to come up with, her fashion line and all of that. So she's showing them through whatever she wants to do with regards to her business. I think one of the things they did in this show, this reality show, is to try to point out or bring to light the businesses that these ladies do and all of that. And I think that for Laura, we've not seen her do anything in terms of business, in terms of what she does. So this time around, looking at the fact that she wants to bring out a new product, it puts her in the light of a business lady in some way. And then we see Chioma inviting all the ladies for a pre-trip dinner. Of course, she wants the fact that, the tension from the last events they had with Caroline, she doesn't want him to, come into this new one she's planning for the ladies. So she calls all the ladies, you know what, come, let's dine together. Let's ease off the tension from the last dinner we had. Of course, she talks to them about whatever she wants to do. She tells them that she's taking them somewhere, but she doesn't reveal the location to them. And they're all like, wow, and they're anticipating for her to tell them where they're going to. But of course, she's not telling them. And in the long run, we see Iyabo say that she's not going for the trip because she has to travel to London, Paris, and of course, Turkey.
On that note, let's toast to Iyabo traveling. I'm so sad, but have an amazing time. Thank you.
And then for the first time on the show, we see Mariam showing up. So Mariam gives us a rundown about her family. She gives us a rundown about her husband and her kids, telling us how amazing they are and all of that. And then we see her on a call with Tiannah. So Tiannah is having this 40th birthday shoot for herself. It's Tiannah Fortified. She said her fans gave her the theme of her birthday, for her birthday rather. And so we see Tiannah and Mariam on the call, and Mariam is on her way to Tiannah's photo shoot, because I think Mariam also does a bit of PR for Tiannah. So she works alongside Tiannah, alongside Tiannah's husband also. So she goes on that shoot. She goes to visit Tiannah on set at the shoot. And while they're there, they're having a conversation, and Chioma's package arrives for Tiannah. So Tiannah opens the box, reads the handwritten note that Chioma sent, an invitation for the trip that she's planned for them. And then, there's the place where, the plus one, you can come with a plus one, shows up. So Tiannah's like, come on, you're my friend, Mariam, so would you like to come on this trip with me? And of course, Mariam is super excited about it. Mariam is like, come on, she's going to come on this trip. And of course, by force, by fire, they must like her. And of course, after all of that, the D-Day for their trip arrives. And of course, Laura is the first person who gets to the private jet's wing of the Lagos airport. Of course, Laura is super excited about this trip. She's like, this time around, she feels like, she's already trying to warm up to Chioma. Chioma is not there, but she's like, in her mind, she's like, Chioma really tried about this trip. She tried for this trip. So Laura gets to the, the waiting, lounge. And of course, Tiannah joins her. And after that, after 2 hours, they were waiting for 2 hours, about 2 hours before the other ladies came. So we see Chioma and Caroline walking. And there's a bit of a little tension that, was going to happen there, because as soon as Caroline got there, she was saying hi to Tiannah. Tiannah wasn't saying anything. Tiannah was angry at the fact that, why are you guys coming 2 hours late? You know what I'm talking about, right? But in the long run, they all get on board a private jet and they're excited about it. There was some people are scared of, being on plane. Most times, a lot of people, when they travel via planes, they are always fidgety. They're always like, oh my God, they pray to God, Lord, forgive me my sins and all of that. Some people even say their last prayers that you don't know anything can happen. But on this trip, they fly safe. They arrive at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel in Abuja. Everybody settles into their room. But one thing I observed is the fact that the plus ones did not fly with them on the private jet. They all came via local airports to the venue. So the people came for Tiannah and Mariam and Tiannah's daughter, whose name is also Tiannah. We also saw Chioma's friend who came. Then we also saw the fact that Celine came for Laura. And of course, for Caroline, we didn't know who came for Caroline because they didn't show us. And then they all got into the party mode that they came for. And gradually they started a game. And then Mariam asks one question that I'm beginning to suspect might cause trouble. She asks Laura, why are your chin and nose injected?
Why did you decide to inject your nose and chin?
Who? What they asking?
What is Laura?
If you remember vividly, there was a time that Laura did a nose job, a chin job, and all of that. And it was even all over social media where people were wondering what was happening to Laura's face. Her face began to look some type of way. And people were like, why did she inject her face and all of that for, this whole cosmetic surgery, whatever that she did. And then there was another question that, Tiannah asked Caroline. She was asking Caroline maybe what happened between herself and her husband. And Caroline isn't having any of it, because Caroline is like, come on, if you have 3 different kids for 3 different men, we should start with you. What happened to the men you've been with?
What happened between you and your husband? Tony feels like talking about someone's marriage, you should start with her baby daddy first.
And that was how the episode 4 of the Real Housewives of Lagos ended today. We look forward to next week to see what's going to happen at the party. I'm expecting to see a bit of drama that's going to happen at that party because Mariam is on board right now, and I'm beginning to think she's going to bring fire to that show. I don't know if, Laura is going to fire back at, at Mariam. And also looking at the tension that's been happening between Caroline and Tiannah from the airport, where, Caroline said hi to Tiannah and Tiannah wasn't responding because Caroline came late alongside Chioma. I'm hoping that this will not spill into an issue or fight at that party. Let me know what you think about this week's show. Go to the comment section. Let me know what you think about Laura and Chioma, burying the hatchet. And what do you think that Mariam is going to bring on the show in this episode 5 that is coming next week? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. Turn on your notification bells, and guess what? You get notified whenever I post a video. Go on all social media platforms on Facebook and Instagram, on Twitter, and of course on TikTok, and follow me at Olufemi. And until next time I come with you very soon, it's bye for now.